Okay, this is gonna be my first time ever doing it like a solo video, so I guess we're just gonna hop right into it. It's David here. CJ is at the store. I think. I think he's going to get his monitor repaired, so it's just me. We're also doing just solo videos, just because you know we can't always play together. But today I think I'm gonna just do some story times. So subscribe, hit the like button, and maybe comment if you want to, and we'll just get right into it. So these are just story times that either I found or that I know, or like Reddit story times. So I'm just gonna read them like I'm the person, I am that person. So I, 21 male, have worked at a movie theater for the last 3.5 years, and I experienced last night what was probably one of, if not the craziest thing during my time working there. To begin with some backstory, about a month ago when the tickets for Megan 2.0 went on sale, our theater received an alert that the 8 p.m. opening Thursday showtime was sold out. We investigated this as none of the other showtimes for the whole opening weekend were even remotely close to selling out that fast. That has to be crazy. 136 seats just sold out like that. Upon our investigation into this, we learned that it was one credit card that purchased all 136 seats. Our GM asked around to the other GMs in our market to see if they had something similar occur at the theaters. One of them replied saying that something like that happened at their theater a year prior when Megan was released around Halloween. Re-released around Halloween. We were told that only 40 people showed up to that showtime. So we were prepared for more just in case, but hoping for it to be just the 40 people like they had before. On the day of the showtime, which was yesterday, this guy scanned in his tickets and was sent to his movie theater. Later, while I was talking with one of my coworkers, we noticed someone walk in with a life-sized Chucky doll. One of our supervisors also saw this. Okay, first of all, how do you life-size Chucky doll? Where do you even find a life-size Chucky doll? I don't even. Ow. Where? Amazon? Does Amazon really produce life-size Chucky dolls? Whatever. One of our supervisor also saw this and asked if we had to tell him to put it back into his car, to which our GM told us that as long as it wasn't being used as a weapon, it was fine. So he's. Okay, can I bring in one of those dolls that I shouldn't bring places if I'm not going to use it and it's not a weapon? I think I should be allowed to bring it in. I feel like which yeah, that's ooh. After the hour seemed to go after like the during the movie basically, the GM began to be alarmed as there was definitely not 40 people that showed up to the movie. So he went to check on the theater that was bought out and realized that it was just the guy with the Chucky doll. And he was alone. We were all a little confused by this and kind of just started making jokes about it, wondering what he might do with the doll. Oh no, not with the Chucky doll. Alone in a theater, and why he purchased all 136 seats, especially considering that this most likely cost him around $2,000 to rent out a whole movie theater just so you could sit there and watch Megan 2.0 with your life-sized Chucky doll. Okay. He could have saved money if he were to just book a private theater rental. Okay, so instead of paying the $2,000 to basically rent out the whole theater, he simply could have paid probably, I would assume, at least $1,000 to just book the theater without having to buy all the tickets. Even you don't even have to buy all the tickets. If he bought those tickets online and wasn't like, let's say this is like Cinemark, right? If he bought those tickets online and didn't have the Cinemark member thing, the online fees for buying 136 tickets worth $2,000. Oh my gosh. We decided to look in from the upstairs through the port glass next to the projector and saw him laying out a blanket for the doll, and he later wrapped his arms around it and was stroking both the doll and his own hair with his two arms. Oh no. So, okay. When the theater previews came on before the movie, the man flipped off the screen and leaned in to whisper to the doll. No way. Later on in the night, when clearing the theater, we realized he had also trashed the theater, leaving a popcorn trail in front of the seats. Okay, why? Like I understand that you bought all the tickets in the theater and you probably paid a lot of money, but overall they would have made the same amount of money had the tickets just been bought by individuals. So like I don't think that's a reason to like trash a theater. You know, like I feel like that's just a lot of effort to put in just because you paid that much money. Anyway, front of the seats and the row he and the doll were sitting in, but also had put most of the armrests in the theater up. On top of that, by the exit door to the theater, he had left a large drink cup in a random seat and his empty pizza box leaning up on a seat behind the one with the drink cup. But why? He left a large drink cup in a random seat. And his empty pizza... honestly, they were probably moved... him and the Chucky doll, the life-sized Chucky doll, by the way, were probably moving around the theater consistently, not just laying on the blanket that he had brought. Also, the blanket, what kind of theater of this is this to have like an area where they can just lay down? Like, I'm sorry, is there like a plateau for people to just stand? Do they sell standing tickets? Overall, it was a crazy experience, a bit unorthodox. Who made this? Who was writing like this? Like a bunch of their words were like unorthodox. And let me just look here for a second. There was another word that I just didn't even want to say. Conversing. Who uses the word conversing? But it seems as though the guy wanted to have a nice private moment with his doll, and our curiosity took a bit away from that moment, to which I apologize. To which you apologize? The dude came in with a life-size Chucky doll, spent $2,000. I don't think you guys looking at him... I don't even... How would he know? How would he know? How would he know? Is he watching the port glass up there? I don't think so. Anyway, that's the end of that story. I'm not really sure. The man brought a life-size Chucky doll into a theater, paying almost $2,000. $2,000. Now, $2,000 is enough to buy like a really poopy car. You can just buy a car, or like pay rent up like for a month. But you could still just pay rent. Maybe the man's rich. I don't know. He's got a life-size Chucky doll. Maybe I'm the problem. Anyway, this is the next story. We're gonna do a couple of stories just because, you know, I have to hit 10 minutes. And if I don't hit 10 minutes, I don't know. I've just been told that I should hit 10 minutes. Anyway, so this story is about helping a random teen pick a gift for his dad. A few weeks ago, I wandered into a local bookstore just to clear my head. Not really a plan. I just needed a quiet place and the comfort of flipping through some random pages. While I was browsing, I noticed a teenage kid pacing near the gifts for dad table. Now you could just by seeing I noticed a teenage kid pacing near the gifts for dad table, I feel like this story is not real. I've never seen a gifts for dad table. Like I've seen like a Father's Day table, or like an area, like a table though. I don't know about that. He looked super unsure, holding a mug that said "World's Okayest Dad." Oh, not world's best dad, not world's greatest. World's okayest dad. Like it was either the best or the worst decision of his life. I made a light joke, something like bold choice, and he laughed. Then he admitted he had no idea what he was doing. He said his dad didn't really do birthdays, but they'd recently started talking again after a rough few years, and he wanted to make an effort. So we spent maybe 20 minutes walking around, just chatting, and he eventually picked out a leather journal and a nice pen. He writes sometimes, he said. Maybe this'll feel personal without being, you know, cheesy. I wished him luck, and he thanked me, and I assumed that was that. Fast forward to this past weekend, I was in line at a little street fair when someone tapped me on my shoulder. It was the boy. He smiled and said, "You helped me find that journal." He told me his dad actually teared up when he got it. Turns out he's been writing little letters to his son in it, and they started talking and taking walks together once a week. Just trying. It's awkward, but real. The boy told me he never would have done that had I gone with the mug. Laughing. I walked into that store for a quiet moment and accidentally helped a stranger reconnect with his dad. I feel like that's just a nice little heartfelt story, you know. I feel like that's pretty good. I tried to find stories that were similar, but I don't think I did that very well. You know, bringing a doll. I wonder how much the doll was, personally. I want to know if the doll was around $2,000, because a life-size Chucky doll. I mean, let's just put it up on screen, right? Let's life-sized Chucky doll. That's not it. Bride of Chucky. I don't know if you can. Oh, life-size Chucky. Oh, life-size. Do they mean life-size as in like? What do they mean by life-size? Do they mean like 6 foot tall, or do they mean genuinely life-size, like the replica from the movie? Either way, $450 for a stupid doll that's named Chucky. That kind of looks weird. I don't know about that. I don't think that's worth it. But this story is about breaking up a couple at IKEA. So this happened around 3 years ago and still kind of lives in my head. I, 29 at the time, had gone to IKEA on a Sunday afternoon, and I was just looking for a stupid little desk lamp. But IKEA being IKEA, I kind of ended up wandering around, not knowing where I was going, and kind of just looking at random objects. Looking at couches, looking at beds, really looking at anything. Either way, I'm in the kitchen section when I overhear a couple arguing about what kind of plates to get. Not just like the, I like this one better, oh, maybe we should go with this one, but a full-on crisis disguised as dinnerware shopping. The guy says something like, why do we always have to do what you want? Why are we even here? And the girl replies, because you can never make decisions. Wow, okay, so why we always do what you want. Why are we even here? Because you never make decisions. Okay, so right there, that should have just ended. Because the guy should have just been like, okay, then I want this one. And that should have been the end of it. Because if we don't always do what you want, then I made a decision. We're fine. We're good. But here's where the kind of accident happened and I became the villain. I kind of walk by them and I spot the exact lamp that I've been hunting for in someone's abandoned cart nearby. So I point at them, not at them, I point at the cart and say, sorry, do you know where that lamp is from? But apparently the cart belonged to the guy in the couple. He snaps at me and says, I don't know, just take it, and storms off. The girl looks at me and goes, seriously? And then follows him while muttering something like, can't even buy plates without drama. Oop, I should not have cursed. Can't even buy plates without drama. I felt like a background character who just delivered the line that ruined like a whole subplot. I was left with the lamp feeling like a triggered breakup. Oh, feeling like I had triggered a breakup. I don't think they broke up. I think he was angry. You pointed at the cart that was his and said, hey, where's this? And he was being yelled at for never being able to make a decision. So he said, I don't know, just take it. He definitely knows. Even if you did take it, he definitely knows where the lamp is. He got the lamp. First part. I don't think, like, this guy said, and then everyone clapped at the end. Anyway, I guess we're gonna do one more story. Oh man, I did a way worse at a dinner with some faculty 35 years ago. The subject of genetically dominant traits came up. Okay. Someone asked me to explain it, so I used a Punnett square and eye color as an example. I drew the first Punnett square. Oh, this is such a basic story. It's the story where next I did the parents, blah blah blah, and I asked the girl, what color do your parents have? I mean, some parents could have both, but produce a brown-eyed child. Sat there with a non-confrontational smile pasted to my miserable mug. Why do people use these words? Yeah, basically the guy was probably cheated on by the girl, and yeah. Because their son, they both had blue eyes and their son was born with brown eyes, which means the guy isn't the father most likely, but it's not technically true. You can technically have blue eyes and have a brown, it's just, the genetics are weird. There's also just the chance that it's just a genetic mutation. You know what I mean? Like, it could just not be someone else's kid and your kid just randomly got unlucky, or I guess lucky. I don't even know. I don't even know what to call that. I guess unlucky would be the word, not lucky, but whatever. Anyway, that's it for the story time, guys, for today. I just wanted to find, you know, some like small ones that I could read. I have like a 50-minute video of me playing Minecraft in the background with zero audio. I'm not sure where the audio went, but I'm gonna like try and find some like music, like some NCS music that I can just like slowly play in the background, because what am I supposed to do? There's zero Minecraft audio. You know, I was hoping for the music, but that's just not gonna happen. So, you know, I told my 4 little stories, technically 3, because 1 I just decided not to tell. Because I'll just be honest, I was looking at the post for I accidentally broke up a couple at IKEA, and I scrolled down to the comments, and it was this guy saying, "Oh man, I did way worse," which he's just making up some story about how he did a Punnett square in front of this couple, and the guy was like, "Wait, yeah, that's so crazy." Basically, she cheated on him. Basically, I'm gonna have to repeat everything I said because someone interrupted my recording as I was literally doing it. Opens the door. She's like, "Kitty, you want these shoes down here?" I don't care about the shoe. Anyway, basically in the IKEA, or not the IKEA story, but the comment section of the IKEA story, this guy is talking about Punnett squares, and the guy explains that 2 parents with blue eyes really can't have a brown-eyed child because there's no dominant gene. There's no brown-eyed gene. And let's just say this couple married, male, female, kid, brown eyes. Kid with brown eyes. They have blue eyes. That's an interesting story. I don't think that it's necessarily that guy's fault, even if that's not a true story. I don't think in any way is you explaining to the guy that he cannot have brown-eyed children in any way wrong to the wife. The wife shouldn't have cheated. Let's put that into perspective first. It's not wrong to explain that yeah, buddy, you got cheated on. No. Let's talk about it. Actually, actively, let's talk about it. Whatever, but don't cheat. Moral of the story: don't cheat on your wife. Don't cheat on your girlfriend. Don't cheat on your husband, your boyfriend, your partner thing, relationship. I don't know. People have like multiple partners now, and I'm not even sure that a lot of people are still male or female. So boyfriend and girlfriend, are those gendered specific terms? Can I have a boyfriend but it be a girl? Probably not. Probably because it's boy and girlfriend. Whatever. Either way, it's been David. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment if you want to. I'll catch you next time.